It's time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal, everybody. I'm host Mike Adams, sitting in the cabin tonight with Dan DeFaw. Before we get started, we want to help you save some money.
That's right, folks. Don't forget to use our promo codes to save that money. And let's start off with buckbaits.com. That's right, the brick and mortar store of Buck Baits down at Sterling Heights, Michigan at 15 and Dodge Park. Go over there. If you're on the website, buckbaits.com, use the promo code UNJ20. That will get you 20% off your order.
For those of you who are looking for Easy Cut products, make sure you go to easycutproducts.com. And when you're there, use the UNJ promo code UNJ15 off to save 15% off your order.
And let's not forget Lincoln Roan over at packermax.com. It's never too early, never too late to think about the Packer Max. Go on over to packermax.com, use the promo code UNJ25. That'll get you $25 off your order over at Packer Max Outdoors.
For those of you looking for some new firearms and firearm products, make sure you go over to the islandarmory.com. While you're there shopping, use the promo code UNJ10 to save 10% off your order there.
If you shot that bird of a lifetime and you want it mounted, don't forget Troublesome Creek Taxidermy. We've had them live on the show. We've talked to them. You want to get 10% off your order, go to Facebook, go to troublesome.creek.7, find their website. If you go to our website, UNJ, make sure to click on the button to download the form. You get 10% off over there using the code UNJ10.
Looking for that game call, whether it be a squirrel, whether it be goose, duck, deer, make sure you go to JPO Game Calls. Look for them at jpogamecalls.com, and while you're there shopping, use the UNJ10 promo code to save 10% off your order.
And Miller Deer Tracking, the man that seems to never sleep during deer season. Get 20% off your next deer tracking using the promo code UNJ20. Look for Miller Deer Tracking on Facebook or give him a call over at 810-240-4891.
Looking for the hottest new plastics to take on the water, whether it be hard water or soft water? Make sure you go over to southernindianabaitco.com. While there, use the UNJ promo code UNJ10 to save 10% off your order.
Deer Camp Coffee, folks. We drink it every night on the show. You want to try it? You can go to the brick and mortar store at 15 and Dodge Park at Deer Camp itself, or go to deercampcoffee.com. Also use our promo code UNJ10. You get 10% off your order. And don't forget, get a bag of the UNJ medium roast blend there as well.
All right, Danny, where's our live view camera look from?
Good evening, everybody. Live back in the cabin. That's right. This week's live camera, we're going all the way up to Grayling, where it's a balmy 34 degrees, and they do not have much snow by the snow pole.
No, they don't. I see grass.
I see grass as well. I tell you what, folks, has this not been a wild week of warm weather?
It has been. I tell you, it was nice this last weekend. I got out, went and did some pistol shooting this weekend at a gun range. And actually, it's one that I'm going to go look at this Saturday and thinking about joining. One that you're familiar with.
Nice.
So I'll let you know more about that if it happens. But yeah, it's beautiful, man. Got out and almost started driving around without the having the windows all open.
It was so nice. It was like you walked outside, you took that breath of fresh air, you're like, wow.
Yeah, spring's around the corner.
Think on. What month are we in?
Right.
We don't want to get used to this, but it's just one of those things. It's February. I think it was almost 60 today, and tomorrow we might have snow.
Yeah, well, it's Michigan.
Right. So
wait 5 minutes, it'll change.
Exactly. So glad we're back for another week. Every week, let's go to Mark real quick.
Go to Mark.
Yeah, Mark's on tonight's show. Let's go to Mark.
You want to go to Mark? Okay, I got to bring his mic up here. Yeah, I'm just going to bring him up full by himself here.
Okay.
We don't want to give away too much.
No, we don't want to go to giveaway.
Okay. So I guess Mark, he wants to ask you something here. I don't know what he's got up his sleeve.
Mark,
Danny.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Well, you've kind of convinced me to do something that, I just went out and did it, but I got a favorite saying. And what's that favorite saying?
I'll tell you what.
You know what? It's right here. Right there. I'll tell you what, folks. That's right. The new UNJ I'll Tell You What shirt.
Dan the man.
Thank you very much.
We're never going to live this down.
Everybody out there, I deeply apologize.
No, he doesn't.
For this guy, I'm speechless. I tell you what, I'm speechless.
That's what I like to hear. But, we got Mark on the show tonight. It's great to have him on. He's down there in Indiana, where it's actually warmer than here. And him and I went to ATA. You couldn't join us.
Yep.
Him and I, scouring ATA, we found a company that we talked to. He actually has one of these. And we're going to talk with Adam Kaiser from Menominee, Wisconsin, of Lowdown high-speed viewers.
Welcome to the show, Adam.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Man, I apologize for my co-host here. I've lost all control tonight. I don't know what to say. Like I said, I'm speechless. Guy's got his own shirt now.
I do. So, we're going to get these on the website. You can buy them.
I want to know, though, does it have Penny on the back?
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
We
okay.
didn't get there. I thought about it, though.
There's a
I
joke
want to
there.
hear that story.
That's for off air.
Right? So Mark introduced us to Adam. Adam, Lowdown high-speed viewers. Welcome to the show, obviously. But you know what? You're bringing a product. You've got a product in the marketplace. Mark, we're going to let you handle this one a little bit because you know more than we do.
Thank you, Danny. So, Adam, this product you all have come out with, I think it's a great advantage for any person that's an outdoorsman, especially a deer hunter, to be able to check your trail cameras in the field and have a large screen to do it with. Can you kind of tell me a little bit, Adam, about how you all came up with the idea and when did you get started creating this?
It's actually my dad's idea. He's the one that founded the company and started the company, and he just wanted something that was big enough you could see your pictures good on, but something that's small enough you could put in your backpack, take out in the woods, use in your truck, use it anywhere you want, and that was just simple and fast. Something you go through 1,000 pictures in 20 minutes and, do it wherever you want. You don't need internet or anything like that.
So how many trail cams are you guys running? I mean, to have a lot of pictures. I mean, what's a lot of pictures and wanting to be able to see them faster? What was kind of the impetus of that as far as how many cameras do you got?
Right now, between me and Dad, we're running probably, it depends on the year, but between 20 to 30 trail cameras.
Okay, so you got quite a few picks. I know, Mark, how many cameras do you have that you run down on the farm?
Yeah, so I run 10 down at the farm, and I'm down there. I try to get down there as often as I can, but it's an hour drive, so I pull those trail cam cards every week or 2 weeks, and I will have somewhere in the ballpark of 2,000 to 3,000 photos to go through just in a week's time.
That's quite a bit to handle. I know when I was managing trail cam system up at our place, we were running anywhere from 8 to 12, and it was the same thing. I'd go up, after, I wouldn't check mine every week. I'd check them usually about once a month in northern Michigan, and we'd be pulling anywhere from probably 3,000 to 6,000 photos. And that's a lot to handle, So I can understand what, I don't know how old your dad is, Adam, but I know with my dad, technology was a big hurdle to try to overcome with some of these things. Was that kind of the reason, or was it he just wanted to go through them, or was there a technology block there with age? I don't want to put anybody in a box, but my dad can't set his own watch, so.
No, yeah, it was when we'd go pull the cards, we'd go out with extra cards, we'd swap out the cards, come home. And between me and him, it would take, 2 or 3 days to go through all the pictures on the computer or laptop or, those little viewers. And it just got so frustrating that, we just wanted something you could do it fast and even do it out in the woods or pull your card and look at it up in the tree stand if you want. Something you can use anywhere, anytime. And, he wanted something simple to use because, he's the same way, and actually so am I. It needs to be simple to use, we don't want anything complicated. We want to just put your card in and look at your pictures, We
Right.
don't want you to have to download anything else or do anything else. Just put your card in and look at your pictures.
Gotcha. That was the problem I had where I was at. I was using an iPad, and I had an interface that went between the card. It was a card reader, basically, that worked with a program. But it wasn't high speed, it was real slow and kind of cumbersome, and it took a long time, and I'd have to sit in the vehicle, plug my iPad in to keep the charge going on it, because it would, after doing so many of these things, like you say, and managing the system, if I didn't have an extra card with me, I had to download everything, and then I had to wipe it, and then put it back in versus just swapping. So I guess out in the field, this item here would make a huge difference from what Mark's been saying.
Definitely.
And that same thing, I had a little card reader I plug into my cell phone, take the card out of the trail camera, put it in there, and then I'm looking at these pictures that are like a half-inch in size, little thumbnails, and it's really hard to tell the quality of the picture and what you actually have in it. And it was just, it's frustrating when you want to see what's there real time, because you're probably going to be hunting the next day. I know when I go to camp, it's 3 days, and I want to be able to tell what's there so I can plan my next hunt the next morning. And with the Lowdown, the screen's great big. It holds a really good charge, and it'll handle just about any trail cam card that I have, because I run 16 and 32 gig. But I noticed this Lowdown it looks like it goes up to 128 on an SD card. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. Yep. We wanted something to be able to use bigger cards, because you can play videos on this also. So we wanted people that use GoPros or Tacticams or anything like that want to use a 64 or 128 gigabyte card, that they would be able to do that.
So how long has Lowdown been around?
In total, about 8 years now.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah. This is our second generation viewer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
our first.
I was just about to ask, how did it all start? What was like the first go at it with the viewer? What was it like?
That was a lot of years ago already. That we actually, our vice president of the company, Josh, he actually is our IT guy too. And my dad came up with the idea, and he actually worked with Josh at a factory, and he brought it to his attention and said, "Hey, can you help me do this?" And long story short, he said, "Yeah, we can do that." And ever since then, it's just been using it, making improvements, and just making it better.
Run through some pictures here, just being used out in the field and the different plugins and everything. I'm going to go back to this one here that we just showed. It's got a HDMI port and a USB. It looks like a USB-C port on the side, and then standard card reader, and then you got save card, so you can download backwards back to the card of the photos you want to save.
Yeah, you can save individual pictures if you want, groups of pictures. You can actually highlight the trail camera box actually and save your entire card to the save card if you want.
Okay.
But we just we tell everybody, save your pictures as you're going through your trail camera card. We have that option, just save them as you go. Save them all together right at the end, and then just delete your whole card.
Okay, and I see that you got this on the display. I've got up right now. It says the camera card, and then you got the save card. It kind of looks like it shows how that all works there and integrated together as well. So, and another thing too is it's in color, which I like as well. You see a lot of things that people put out, and they try to keep price points down on things and make them cheaper and cheapen them up. But yours has actually got a color screen on it, which I like.
What was the size of what was the size of the very first screen that you came up with? This one that you have currently wasn't the first, correct?
Yeah, we've always went with the 9-inch screen. It's just always been the size that we felt worked the best. You go smaller to a 7-inch, and you just weren't able to see your pictures as good. If you went up to a 12-inch, it was just sort of too big to throw in your backpack, and the 9-inch just seemed perfect for all that.
How with that being said, do you got one with you? You kind of give us a little tour of the little unit you got in your hands.
Yeah. I don't.
All right.
So Adam, there's a couple of things there that I really find that I like. One is the case. It's thick, it's durable. You can take it out in all kinds of weather, I think, and it'll still protect you pretty well. But the two things I noticed I really like about this, I'd like for you to talk about as well, is one, it's touchscreen, and two, it's got two SD card ports. What's that all about?
Yeah, well, we wanted a touchscreen just for simplicity. Just touch it, no buttons, just touch it and go, and just to make it simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the SD card thing, can I put it in either one of the slots, or is there one slot that I need to view with, and one slot is what, backup or what?
Yep, it's labeled right on the viewer. The top card, towards the top of the viewer, that's your trail camera card. You put your trail camera card in it from your trail camera, and then the bottom one's your save card. That's what we save our pictures to. We save to a SD card instead of internal memory, because if you saved internal memory, once you start saving pictures on it, it slows the unit down. This way you can save, 10,000 pictures on your save card if you want to, and it'll never slow down. So that was the big reason why. We just wanted to be able to go through pictures. We wanted to be able to save pictures, view pictures, save pictures, and delete pictures. And actually now we can format right on our viewer too, which is awesome, because if you're checking your cameras right in the field, you don't have to take your SD cards home to format them, which is extremely important to do. Now you can do it right out in the woods.
Yeah, and I noticed that, like you were saying there, you can go through those pictures and you can highlight the ones you want to save and save them, but you can also delete the ones you don't want and keep moving on. And when you're done, you're done.
Yeah, when we save as we go, and then we actually just go out to the main screen and just delete the whole card at once. So save what you want and then just delete the whole card right at once.
Can you zoom in? Can you zoom in on a picture? Okay.
Yep, if you're on full screen, there's 3 viewing screens. We have the quick view screen, which allows you to look at 8 pictures at once. And then if you touch one of the boxes, it takes you up to what is 3/4 screen, and you can view and save and delete on there too. But if you touch it again, it goes to the whole full 9-inch screen. And then you can just double tap to zoom or use your fingers to zoom in. You can actually save your picture while it's zoomed in too if you want.
Oh, really? So on a video, you mentioned you could watch video on it too, right?
Yep.
So can you stop the video, pause the video at some point, and take a snapshot of it, or no?
Yes, you can. On our new advanced features model, we can actually, at any point in the video that you'd like, you just touch the screen, and it basically pauses the video, and then up in the upper right-hand corner, there's a little camera button. You just press that, and it takes a snapshot of the video, and then what that allows you to do is to be able to zoom in on your video then of that snapshot, and you can actually zoom in and take another snapshot if you want, and actually zoom in again. So if you got a buck way out in the field or something that you want to get a look at, you can actually take a snapshot and keep zooming in.
Right, because I'm thinking, like with me, when if I got a deer stand from a trail camera and I shoot that deer and I capture that moment of the arrow passing through, I could go back and review that video and stop it, zoom in, and actually see exactly where I hit versus where I thought I hit that deer to make that decision on should I track that deer, should I let it lay for a while. That's a cool feature to have.
That is that's an awesome feature for such a thing you've got built in. But we're coming up on our first break, and when we come back, we're going to jump right back into that viewer with some questions.
All right, we're going to take a quick step outside. We'll be right back after this.
All right, Adam Wynn is on. He's joining us.
Adam Wynn.
Mr. There you go, Mr. UP Fisherman Extraordinaire. He was on the cover of everything this week.
I saw that.
Visit Escanaba.
Yeah. He's like a world traveler, a famous fisherman.
Right?
Man of the UP.
Right?
I tell you what. See?
There you go.
I tell you what.
Hold on, let me just remind you.
It's a household name.
Do you get your name on it anywhere?
Nope.
Not yet.
Not yet, but you'll see a little R, trademark it.
Good Lord.
It's all mine, baby.
You need to learn how to do this or something too. I tell you what. And put some emphasis behind it.
Well, I'll tell you what.
This thing was acting a little slow tonight. I had to wait for a minute for it to.
Everything's a little slow tonight. It's all warm.
I know. It's doesn't know how to act with this weather.
I know, right?
Alrighty. Here we go. Everybody stand by. All right, I got a couple questions I want to lead in with here coming back. Here we go. Stand by. 3, 2, and 1.
Just a reminder, since we just got back from a break, for all those listening to the podcast, what we talk about in the break, you guys all missed it, so you need to go to our live Facebook feed from the show, or catch us on YouTube when I post it over there, because there's things that happen in the break you never see.
What you were doing, you might not want to see.
Oh, you want to see it, folks?
No, I don't think
Oh,
so.
yeah, you do.
I don't know. I don't know about that. All right, well, let's get back into it.
All right, let's get back onto it. I got a couple questions. You got a couple questions.
Yeah.
We talked about it plays the videos. Oh, is it waterproof?
It's not waterproof, but it's water resistant. It can, I've used mine in the rain already, where I had to wipe the screen off with my shirt and it didn't harm it at all. But if you do submerge it, it's going to wreck it, yeah.
Don't put it in the water.
Don't go swimming with it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
basically like your something.
Well, along those lines, I mean, it got me thinking, because when I saw that question posted, it got me thinking about the HDMI port on the side, the USB port on the side. Is that an input or is that an output?
The USB is for charging it. That's how we charge the viewer.
Okay.
It's got a built-in lithium battery bank that you recharge. Okay. And then the HDMI cables is we actually have a 10-foot HDMI cable that you can buy, and you can hook it right up to your flat screen TV.
Okay. I was wondering if it was an input, because my thought was if there was a way to hook and put video into it, like a guy that might have a camera down below in the ice, and maybe didn't have. I mean, I guess you'd have a viewer, but if something happened that went out, you could use it in other areas to use it as a viewer.
Right. Exactly.
So
and and when we were talking about this, folks, if you want to go see this Lowdown Viewer, go on over to lowdownviewer.com. You can check out their website there. They've got some pictures, some guarantees over there, the manual. You can do some shopping while you're over there. And right now, they're running an exciting special. You get a free, you just talked about it, a 10-foot HDMI cable, a can koozie, a decal, and free priority shipping.
There you go.
With the price of a viewer. And what is the price of the viewer?
The viewer is $349.99.
And is that with the? You mentioned that there was like an upgraded or advanced features that was in this one. Was that just in the second version, or is that something you can add on to it?
Yeah, that's our newest one that we came out with a couple years ago now. Previously, before that, we didn't have, we weren't able to pause the videos. We didn't have the scroll bar. It was limited to a 64 gigabyte card. We did a bunch of upgrades a couple years ago. So that's all standard now. If you buy one from us now, that's the one you're going to get.
Gotcha. Okay.
How long did it take to develop from the features that you've added in? What's like a development time? Like says, hey, we want to be able to do a higher, more memory
robust
card, more robust operating system to create that. From like a time period of how long does that take till you get that back in your hands and go, this is what we want?
Yeah, so to get from our last model to this model, it took about roughly 2 years of R&D development, trials with it to get it nailed down to what we have now. It's quite a long process with electronics.
Is that something that you guys kind of brainstorm, say, what can we add to this? What do you think people will want? Or do you get people making suggestions, customers making suggestions to you?
Yeah, it's a combination of everything. It's stuff that we want it to do, but then, going to all the trade shows and everything, all that, we listen to our customers and listen to what they want and their suggestions. And yes, we take it from them, and just basically everybody that uses our viewer, and then including ourselves, and we just try to make the best viewer we can.
Okay, along those lines, without giving away any trade secrets, if you got a list of things that you would like to add, maybe in a version 3 at some point.
Yeah, there's another one that we're looking at coming out with here, but it's not going to be in the near future. So
It's still in development, as they say, without giving away anything.
So we just visited your website, looking at the Lowdown beer. Can we find your Lowdown in stores, or how do we find it?
yeah, we're in Shields Sporting Goods nationwide in all their stores. I believe they're up to like 26 or 28 stores now, I believe. And then we're also in, various archery shops and places like that.
What about trade shows? Do you hit the trade show circuit for the consumer shows that the average person can get into?
Yeah, we try to hit, six or so of those a year.
And Danny, actually,
I just found your schedule that's upcoming, and it looks like you are going to have a pretty busy March.
Yep.
Where you're going to be starting off in Des Moines, Iowa. Then you're going to be heading over to Columbus, Ohio, and then you're going to end up closer back to home at the Wisconsin Dells. But then you take a little break, and it looks like back in August you ramp back up. You're going to go down to Texas.
Yep.
Is that going to?
We did those.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say we did those two shows last year for the first time, and they went over really well. It was our first time down in the Texas market, and a great bunch of people down there, and some great shows they put on.
Wouldn't have to get any hunting in, would you?
Do a little hunting while you're down there?
Yeah, that's always a possibility.
There you go.
Always try to squeeze hunting in, no matter where you're at. I mean, there's always possibilities.
You gotta try, right?
Hunting, fishing, whatever, you know. Got to squeeze it in when you can. So, speaking of hunting, just a little bit off topic. I mean, obviously, this came out of a hunting background and everything. How was the last season for you guys down there, or over there in Wisconsin?
We had a fun season. I mean, we got out and did quite a bit of hunting, but it wasn't successful in the harvesting area. It was successful in a lot of memories made, but we didn't harvest anything this year. It was sort of a frustrating year for us this year. We had some good ones on camera, and we had some very close calls. My dad and I both should have had one on the ground, but it just didn't work out.
Oh, that's why they call it hunting and not killing.
Well, they're making memories, right?
Exactly.
One thing Marco says is go and make memories, right?
It's and you can always learn something while you're out there. I mean, that's the thing about it. So,
Adam,
go ahead, Mark.
Adam, I got a question for you. You talked about the places that you can purchase this. We can also purchase it directly off of you on your website, right?
Correct. Yep.
How quickly can I get one if I was to order it? I mean, does it ship next day? Does it take a while to get the processing?
If you order on our website, it ships free always. So, and we usually try to get it out within 24 hours. And then once it's shipped, it takes, depending on where you live, it takes 2 to 3 days. So, I mean, if you'd order one tonight, you could have it, in 3 days.
Okay. And is there a warranty with this? Or do you have to pay
comes
for
with
it?
Yeah, it comes with a 1-year warranty. So if anything happens to it in the first year, we fix or replace for free. The only things that we don't cover is broken screens. If you sit on it and crack the screen or something like that. But otherwise, any other defects in it that arise, we fix them. We stand behind them. Even after the warranty's done, we have our own service department. So 5 years down the road, if you end up having something go wrong with it, I mean, we're always able to service it.
So battery life on one of these, if I was to use it, let's just say once a week for about an hour, what can I expect on battery life? You said it was a lithium battery. I'm assuming it would last a couple years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the battery life in general, I mean, you should be able to get, unless you're going through a ton of pictures and charging it all the time, you should be able to get, we have some customers that bought from us 8 years ago that still have the original battery. But in general, you should get, I would expect a minimum of 5 years out of it. We're told from the manufacturer that it should go through a minimum of 500 charging cycles, and that's the minimum. And I mean, but how often you charge your viewer a year? I mean, if you're going through a ton of pictures, you might charge it 50 times a year. I mean, at the most, probably.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, to have a battery that you can rely on.
Is that battery replaceable? I mean, or serviceable?
Yes, yeah. If you ship it back to us, we can replace it. Yeah, it's internal, but we can replace it.
Gotcha.
That's awesome. You know, a quick little, and this fits all in the nice comforts of your backpack. So you can walk out there and switch out your SD card or look at it right there and then and grab all the pictures.
We got a question coming in that asks, does it have any Wi-Fi connection so you could send photos or email photos?
It does not.
Okay.
No.
So it's just on the card.
Yep. It's just a dedicated viewer.
Gotcha. Okay.
Adam, I do have a question with that. So it takes SD cards, but does it take the micro SDs when you put them in an adapter to make it fit the SD card port?
Yep. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, because I know a lot of people who are photographers who have those micro SDs in their cameras. And what I'm thinking is like a wedding planner that goes out and takes a bunch of pictures, and then they want to review them. They can just have this right there with them, throw the micro SD into the adapter, throw it into the Lowdown, and start looking at their pictures right then and there versus having to go back and review them at home.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, we actually have a few professional photographers that use it. They absolutely love it. They can use it out in the field where they're shooting. They can use it at weddings. And one really cool feature too is our viewer has a slideshow option. So like for photographers, if they want to set it up and let their clients look at the pictures right at the wedding reception or anywhere, they can just put it on slideshow and let it go.
Oh, that's nice.
That is
That's a
fantastic.
huge selling point. Yeah.
Does it come in? We see one is orange. Is orange the color, or does it come in multiple colors by chance?
Nope, just orange.
Good, because
If you drop it in woods, you can find it.
exactly. That's I like that.
I can see what would
Yeah.
happen. Danny would be in his tree stand. He'd be swiping and looking at photos, and he'd drop it
I
instead of paying attention hunting.
probably.
But I'm not
you know-
saying I haven't done that.
Right. Yeah. So, but that's awesome. And you know when you're especially when you're got it in your backpack, you're out in the woods, and that battery time is very valuable, especially when you know you're out there and you don't need it dying on you in the middle of the woods.
Speaking of that, I'm notorious for leaving things on as I'm working and going from one thing to the other. So if I'm traveling through, you know, let's say maybe I'm riding my bike from one trail cam to the other, or maybe I'm walking and it's a good little distance and I forget to shut it off and I throw it in my backpack. Does it have an auto off feature or no?
Yes, after I believe it's like 15 minutes, it just goes to sleep.
Okay.
It doesn't shut all the way down. It just goes to sleep to save battery.
Gotcha. Well, that's the Mike
Right.
Adams feature because I would leave it on by mistake. I'm notorious for doing stuff like that.
So this has a built-in program kind of thing. It's got, like, you're calling it the built-in navigation help system. There's no need to read any instructions.
No, we actually have a navigation button right on the main screen, the home screen that it loads up to, and you touch it and a voice comes on and it walks you through and shows you exactly how to use it. Every single function on the viewer. It's like a little over a 7-minute video, but it shows you exactly how to use it.
Is it in English only?
Yes.
Okay, I just had to ask.
Now, does that feature come up every time you turn it on, or is this a mode that you can turn off?
No, yeah, it's something you have to select on the main screen. There's a little navigation icon. If you touch it, it comes on. If you don't want to listen to it, you don't have to. You know, you can just turn it on and view your pictures.
Gotcha. I can see me in a tree stand doing something like that, and all of a sudden it wake up
Starts
and starts
talking.
talking to me and scares my deer off. So I know a lot of people probably want to know if that was a feature that you could shut off or not. So I tell you what.
Does it have a brightness setting? Can you change the brightness setting on the screen?
Yep, yes, on the home screen there's a brightness for the screen you can turn up or down, and then it's also got volume control also. So You can turn the volume up or down also.
Yeah, because I'm thinking I'm sitting in a deer blind first thing in the morning. Daylight hasn't come yet, and I turn this screen on. It's going to be like a small TV unless I can turn that brightness down. And,
Yep.
and I don't want my buddy hunting 300 yards away to say, "What are you watching over there, buddy?"
Right.
No, turn that down.
Speaking of the volume control on that, when it plays video back off of a trail camera photo or any other camera photo or video, does the volume come through as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And I assume that's a feature you could probably turn off or on as well.
Yeah, you can turn the volume all the way down if you're, looking at it out in the woods or something, and you don't want to make the noise. Yeah, you can turn the volume off if you want, or turn it,
Okay.
on.
And speaking of turning off the volume, we better take a break, or else we're gonna have to turn our volume off.
I'll just turn your mic off.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
I tell you what.
I tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
We're going to step outside. We're going to take our next break, and we'll be right back after this.
Brian Hoyt, Lowdown is simply the best.
No, that's a good guy right there.
Right?
And Adam, didn't you just recently add someone to your staff, Lucas Kincaid?
Yes, we did. He is actually taken over our Facebook page and running our Facebook page for us. He's a great kid. He's talented at what he does, and we're super excited to bring him on.
Yeah, I talked to him at the ATA for a little bit, and he had some great tips for me when it was coming to doing self-reels and posting things and things that he, just little pointers that he was just freely giving away, saying, this is what you might want to try next time. And I'm like, you know what, I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of good guys in the industry.
A lot of good ones and a lot of bad ones.
That's a true statement.
Right? You got to whittle those out quick.
That is true.
Yeah.
All right.
You ready?
Yep, let's get back into it.
All right, here we go. Stand by. 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back. Third segment of the show. We're talking with Adam Kaiser, all the way over from Wisconsin, about the Lowdown high-speed viewer, trail cam viewing system, trail cam card viewing system. So.
Mark and I met him at the show, and what I wanted to ask you was, how was the ATA show for you guys?
It was good. It's always a good show for us. It's great to get back in contact with, our stores and making new contacts and meeting new people, and it's just a fun show all around.
Okay, I got to ask you. So, did my two guys here? Did they behave themselves? Did they give you any trouble?
I would say for the most part.
Okay. Well, Danny come back and told me this story that there might be a battle of the beards here, and I can see why now. I mean, you and Mark there, you both got some chin whiskers going there pretty good. So I just want to make sure everybody's behaved themselves over there, and there was no razors coming out trying to shave each other's beards off or something. So.
No, there was some jealousy over our beards. You could tell in people's eyes. They were just, they were just fangirling over it.
Oh, I was not jealous, trust me.
Yeah, Danny was always looking up to us.
Well, he does that anyway, right?
I tell you what.
But I did notice when he come back from ATA, he started growing his beard. So I just wondered if there was a little beard envy or something.
No, there is not. Trust me. I let this go a little bit a couple weeks ago, and I about lost my mind. I said, nope, I got to cut it. It's just, I got to do it. But besides Battle of the Beard, at the ATA show, you guys got an award. You guys got the Whitetails Unlimited Official Award, being Partners of Conservation. Explain that award.
It's just that we're national sponsors of Whitetails Unlimited. They're a fantastic organization, and we support them and love working with them and what they do, and it's been a good partnership with them.
Now, in that picture is your dad, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah, your dad and I can't think of his name. Your IT guy.
Stephen Price? Oh, Josh?
Yeah, that's Josh, right, Mark?
Yeah, that's Josh, even though he wasn't wearing that name badge that day.
Oh, yeah, we want to talk about that.
Yeah.
But congratulations on you guys for, getting that continued partnership, working with the outdoors, and your dad looks pretty happy there, and he was really enjoyable to talk to, that's for sure, and he definitely was, he was a talker.
Okay.
We liked talking to him. It was good, and, Mark did that live spot with them, and they just jumped right in.
Yeah, I noticed that. The live drop that Mark did with you there from the ATA, that was awesome. And speaking of that award, working with Whitetails Unlimited, you guys are heavily into the whitetail hunting, and obviously you're passionate and you've got a business within the industry. Getting back to the hunting side just a little bit, do you do a lot of your land management? Do you get into that deep, or are you just strictly hunters, or do you get a little deeper into it?
Well, right now we don't have a lot of actual private land that we hunt. We do actually do a lot of public land hunting. But the land we do hunt, we try to just be the best stewards of the land as we can. We like to harvest mature bucks and does. So we do some land management, but we, just try to be good all around ethical hunters.
You're the first person I think that we've really talked to about, that's within the industry that does, quite a bit of public land hunting. That's awesome. I find that really intriguing. Because here in Michigan, I don't know about Wisconsin. I got to assume it's kind of the same, but, here it's almost like what we call the Orange Army, when they turn them loose on the 15th of November. So hats off to you, man. If you guys are getting it done on public land, that's even a bigger challenge to get out there and make that happen. So that's cool.
Definitely.
Have you had now you're hunting, tell me you're hunting public land. Have you ever had any issues with your trail cameras disappearing or walking?
Yeah. A couple of years ago, we had a few stolen out of the woods, and we lock ours up with actual cable lock, and so it took some work sealing them. But yeah, someone walked off with a couple of them, and this last year really irritated me. We had one get vandalized where they actually ripped it right off the tree.
What makes a person do that?
Public land,
I don't know.
I gotta think it's more jealousy than anything, or I don't know. How do we've talked about this so many times.
How do you feel about that, Adam? You're here. You are. You went out and you bought that camera. You're going back out there to see what's there, and all of a sudden you notice what's ever left of it on the tree is now gone. What's your feelings on that?
It's extremely frustrating. I mean, people that do that, in my book, aren't true sportsmen. You put in all the hard work of finding the spot and running trail cameras and seeing what's there, and then just to go out there to find that it's vandalized or gone, it's just extremely frustrating.
That's too bad, man.
That is too bad. You wonder what's going through that person's mind. Oh, somebody's hunting my spot on public land.
Yep.
It's almost
like my deer.
Yeah, my deer or anything like that. Did you have any good shooters on camera on the public land this year? I know it was a light year for you guys.
Yeah, we actually did. In this spot that I hunt a lot, I actually had 3 pretty nice ones, and I actually had one come within 20 yards, but caught my movement up in the tree stand and bolted on me. But yeah, every year we usually have a few good ones on camera. We really go off the grid when we go for on public land. We try to get out in the corners where other hunters aren't. Some places that we got to walk a mile just to get to the spot, which is key on public land.
Absolutely. Got to get deep to get away from everybody, because only the true hunters put in the effort to get that far, to go in deep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right, so I got to ask, if you're running trail cameras on public land, what are a couple of the craziest or oddest things you've seen on camera, whether it be animal or human?
Like animal wise, seeing does fighting, going up on their back legs and punching each other at their front hooves, is pretty cool. Watching, 2 good sized bucks go at it, push each other around. For hunter wise, there is we talk about the bad people that vandalize the cameras and steal them, but there is a lot of good hunters out there too. And I've actually had some hunters that walk by the camera and will do a funny pose or shake their bow at the camera or smile and wave. But that's about the craziest stuff that we've had.
Do you guys have bear in the area or any cougar over that way or anything else that might intrigue people just on a trail cam photo?
Oh yeah, we have fishers. We get a lot of fishers on trail cameras. Black bears usually between a few of our spots. Usually every year at one of the spots we get black bear on camera. A few years ago I did have a mountain lion on camera, but accidentally deleted that picture, so I don't have it. But one of the coolest thing is actually a couple years ago on one of my where my dad hunts, he actually had an antler doe that was 2 fawns and was nursing 2 fawns, but had a pretty good size rack.
Wow, that's cool. That is cool.
That is definitely cool. Going back to the viewer, does it have a place for a tether or a lanyard? A question came in.
No, it doesn't. No.
But you got a nice sturdy hard case there that they have for it, and that protects it pretty good. And you can reverse that case, and it stands up pretty good.
Yeah, it's a case, but it's also the stand for it, yeah. And it does protect it very well. I actually had a field staffer some years back. He dropped one 18 feet out of his tree stand in a pine tree, and it bounced off the branches on the way down. And he went down at the end of the day thinking it was going to be shattered, and it was actually fine.
That's awesome. Mark, you've got one of these units. How do you like using it?
I love it. I love it because where I go hunting, like I said, when I'm down there for 3 days straight, I don't have a computer. I mean, it's just the old farmhouse. There's really no technology that I can use other than my phone. This is a game changer because I can go pull those trail cam cards on my way back out of the woods and go back to the house, plug it in, and sit there and review them, get a game plan together for the next day. It just, in the bigger screen, for me, I'm a little older than some, the bigger screen really gives you the advantage to really dial in and see the detail and kind of know exactly what you're looking at. It just simplifies. I think it says it best on the back. It says flipping fast, super simple, and dang big. So that is, in a nutshell, what this thing is. It's the case allows you to throw it in your truck, throw it under your seat, carry it with you in your backpack. It's a hard case. I mean, it's a sturdy case. It's thick. So it does protect it really well. Ever since I got mine, it goes with me every time I go to the farm.
You know, one thing we haven't talked about yet, and I actually just picked up on it when he showed the back of the box there. You know, we're thinking, flipping through, looking at pictures one at a time or what have you, but there was a shrunk down view and it had multiple lines. How many pictures can you view at one time on the screen?
8. You can view, it's called our quick view. It's when you go into the trail camera, it's the first screen you come to. You can look at 8 pictures at once and scroll through on that. Okay. And there's actually a feature on top of the screen on the right-hand side, a select button you can hit. And what that allows you to do is you're going through your pictures. You can actually just touch and highlight the ones you want to save. So you can go through your whole card that way. You get to empty a card, you just hit the save button, save all those highlighted pictures, and then you just go back out to the trail camera card, and you can actually just delete the whole card at once and format it.
Nice. So you can do that card right there at a spot, get it done, format it, put it back in. If you don't happen to have extra chips to put in.
What I like about it is the versatility, because I usually run 2 chips, right? So I'll switch out chips, put it in my pocket, and head back to the cabin. But having a dedicated viewer that is simple, it's fast, anybody can use it, and you could literally just, hey, here's my card. Okay, you look at your card, and you can go through the pics. You can show people. You got a big enough screen that everybody can see it. Or you can do like you said, use the HDMI cable, hook it up to the TV, and you guys can all, the whole camp can go through the pictures of what you got.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome.
Have you had, you mentioned like wedding photographers using it. Have you had anybody else outside the hunting industry buy one of these and use one of these and report back to you for any other application?
Yeah, like for the wedding photographers and wildlife photographers, we had a couple auctioneers buy them to show their clients all the stuff they had for sale. We had a couple states, some of our southern states, buy them for monitoring trail cameras on the border.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. We've sold some up in Canada and a few overseas. So, yeah.
They're getting out there and getting around. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
So, Adam, do you have like a dedicated customer service line, or just drop an email to you all if you have a question?
Yeah, you can email us. Otherwise, the phone number that's listed right on our Facebook page or right on our website, that's a good number. You call that, you're going to get a hold of us right away, or send us an email at information@lowdownviewers.com also.
Great.
I tell you what, let's go ahead, take our last break. We come back. We got a couple questions that we always run down.
Yep.
And we'll wrap up the show. So we're going to step outside, take our last break. We'll be right back after this.
All right, folks, last segment of the show, we're going to ask Adam our fun questions. There is a comment here that says, good stuff. We need more pics of Mark. Courtesy of Scott Bass.
Yeah. I go to the Deer Turkey Expo next Thursday, Friday, and I'll be walking around and I'll be going live with Death North Journal. And if Scott Bass is there, I'm going to get him on for a live just a little live overview of what he's been doing lately.
There you go. That'll work.
All right. Are we ready?
Yep.
All righty. Last segment. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back. Last segment of the show. We've covered the lowdown and got the lowdown on the lowdown from top to bottom. So, is it time for you to scroll through your?
I think
you got something else.
We're getting there.
You want to go over that again?
Well, you can show this as I ask the first question.
Okay.
All right, folks. If you want to check out the Lowdown Viewer, you can go down to. First of all, you can go to their webpage right here, lowdownviewer.com. You can check it out on the website. You can do shopping right there. They got a little special going on right now. If you buy a Lowdown Viewer, you'll get a cable, koozie, decal, and you get free shipping as well. If you go to their Facebook page, don't forget to share and like it. But Adam, you've got some shows coming up, and one of our questions always to our guests is, you're going to be traveling to these shows. Whether you're in a truck, a car, or you're flying, what kind of music are you going to be listening to in the vehicle or in your ears that you're going to be listening to on your way to maybe the Iowa Deer Classic?
Most of the music I listen to is country.
There we go. I like it.
Old country, new country.
Both.
I like both kinds of music, country and western.
Oh, nice. Good call. Absolutely. All right. You're traveling down the highway, cruising through Wisconsin, heading to Iowa. You're listening to some great country. What is the go-to snack you got in your vehicle with you?
Oh, we're pretty boring that way. We carry water and flavored water. And then usually just some peanuts, cashews type of stuff like that. And that's about it. Maybe a candy bar.
Hey,
I've kind of gotten into almonds lately.
Almonds?
Yeah. I mean, I love peanuts too, though. Don't get me wrong.
Right. Mark, what do you have on your way down to the farm?
Cosmic brownies.
Whatever I can pack in the truck, usually a Cosmic brownie, a bag of Funyuns. I may raid the pantry before I leave the house and see what we got in there. But yeah, it's usually something salty and something sweet.
Okay.
All right. Question number 3. Adam, the three of us from Up North Journal are going to come over. You're going to cook us your favorite outdoor type meal, whether it be venison, fish, whatever it might be. What is going to be that meal that you're going to tell us, you guys, you are going to love this?
Oh boy. There's three really good dishes that I like making for people. It's my fried venison. I actually bread it and deep fry it, which is amazing. A lot of people think that's really weird, but it's actually extremely good. Or smoked brisket on the Weber grill.
Oh yeah.
Or venison stroganoff.
All three. You can't go wrong.
Okay, you can make all three and we'll do a taste test.
That's right. We'll just go around the table.
Right. Okay, last question. We finished up a great dinner. We're going to go sit out by the campfire. You're going to tell us a story that has influenced you, whether it be in the outdoors, whether it be just currently or something that happened in the past. What would be that go-to story that you'd have to tell us?
Oh, for influence-wise, especially in the hunting industry and learning about the industry and working in the industry and learning about hunting, I'd just be stories about my dad, teaching me everything I know, and there's a lot of good ones there.
Do you remember the first time out with him?
Yeah. Oh yeah, vividly. Yes. Yeah. In Wisconsin, back when I started hunting, you had to be 12 years old to hunt. So I was 12, and the opening of Wisconsin gun deer season was the first time I ever went out. Yep. And it was a cold day, and I wore way too many layers in. I was sweating, and I couldn't get up the tree. I struggled, but I got up there, and I actually saw a few bucks that day and some deer, so it was a good day.
I think everybody, those are the best. You remember the first.
Oh, you do.
I remember my first time. It was public land hunting too, and my dad set me down next to a tree and said, "I'll be back to get you later." And when the sun came up, there was about 4 of the people sitting around me within about 100 yards. It was like a pumpkin patch. But yeah, it's just things like that you do remember. So you come from a hunting heritage. Do you have children that you're going to pass that on to yet?
Oh yeah, yep. I have an 8-year-old son, Aiden, and 11-year-old daughter, Alessandra, and they enjoy getting out, doing some shed hunting, and they enjoy shooting handgun and rifle and crossbow and yeah. One of these years, they always say they're going to come out with me, but I haven't able to get a weapon in their hand out in the tree stand yet. But they show a lot of interest.
That's awesome.
You said one of them was 11, right?
Yeah.
So and you have to be 12 to go hunting in Wisconsin, is that right?
No. Actually, they took that away some years ago.
Okay.
Now you don't have to be any age anymore. So.
Okay.
It's up to the parent to be able to make that determination whether they're old enough to go out or not.
Is there a height requirement before you can go hunting?
No.
Okay. You're good, Danny.
I knew that was coming.
Hey,
what?
this be told, Danny has hunted in Wisconsin before.
Oh yeah, I hunted
Yeah.
Buffalo County with.
So he's legal.
Yeah, I've hunted there with Tom Indrabo over in Buffalo County and Patrick Reeves, and it was memorable. It was awesome. Didn't get nothing, but thanks, Mark. I'm glad to know I'm okay now. And
I tell you what.
I tell you what, yeah. But do you mushroom hunt, Adam?
No, I don't. I know a lot of people that do, and I like eating them, but that's something I haven't done.
There you go, Mark.
Mark, you can
Come see me, Adam.
give him the lowdown on that. No pun intended.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
I saw what you did. Pun intended.
Maybe I'll come see you. You've got all that public ground up there.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you kind of talked about that, Mark, right?
Yeah.
The kind of the wave of the weather as it rolls through the United States. All you're doing is you'd be leaving your spot and heading further north to find them.
Yeah, they currently find them in Georgia right now. So the season started. Now it's just slowly progressing week by week as the ground temp gets usually about the second week of April around here in Indiana. They start finding them, and then give it 3 weeks, head north, head to Michigan, head to Wisconsin, and you'll start finding them there as well.
Have you ever hunted them in Wisconsin?
No, I have not.
Okay, sounds like a trip needs to be planned then.
Right, exactly. Going back, Adam, to the ATA show, are you planning on going next year?
Yeah, yes, we do.
And that's going to be in St. Louis, Missouri, right?
I do believe.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's
And Adam,
different for all of us.
you had a great story there, sitting around the campfire. What's your favorite go-to story? That was a great story about your first experience hunting with your dad. But now that you've met Danny and I at the ATA, I have a feeling that might become one of your favorite stories to tell as well, right?
Oh, I think so. Definitely.
I wouldn't bet on that. I've been around this guy too much.
Mark and I were like twins.
Yeah, okay.
I'm Danny DeVito.
I was going to say, you're Danny DeVito. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Come on, we had so much fun. It was a blast. But you know what? It was such a pleasure to meet you, your dad, the rest of your guys there, and seeing you guys. And actually, we were cutting it up a little bit because it was kind of funny. Just people watching in general, of course. But, it's so glad to hear that you guys are doing well, picking up the pace with the product and going forward for that. You think you see yourself still going at it in about 20 more years?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I don't ever want to leave the hunting industry. It's too good of an industry to be in. Just awesome people, and
It really
absolutely
is.
love it.
Yeah, there's a lot of good people in it, and we meet a lot of friends at ATA, so.
Lifelong
Adam,
friends.
you
Absolutely.
actually met, while we were there interviewing you for Lowdown, you actually met Don East Pete, who was with the Raised at Full Draw. You remember her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We deal with it.
So, she's a great person, got a great cause, nonprofit. And Danny, I believe she might be coming on our show, right?
She will be on next week.
Next week?
Yep, to round out the month of February already.
Man, time's flying.
Right? And we will have her on. We'll talk about what she's doing over at RAFD. She's going to have the auctions coming up. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about you're going to go to. Are you going to Iowa for that when they do their thing, Mark?
You talking? They have Spring Thunder coming up in March. Usually, I haven't gotten a date yet, and I may or may not be on a business trip during that time. But it is going to be an exciting event. The holders put on with Raised Hunting. They always put on a good event, and I believe the Raised Full Draw is going to be part of that this year.
And lo and behold, with Adam, when we were in the booth with you, that's who showed up was, the Raised guys, and we talked with them for another 45 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, they're a great bunch of people. Absolutely love them.
So tell you what, folks, you got to get out, go check out Lowdown Viewer, high speed, check it out. If you see one in the store, take a look at it. If not, go to the website, lowdownviewer.com. And if you see them on Facebook, share their page. Help them out. Give them a like, give them a share, and, it's a good thing.
Well, Adam, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate you taking an hour out of your evening to sit and chat with us and show us the product. We appreciate it. And, we hope to hear good things coming out of Lowdown here in the next year. So that's going to do it for us this week, folks. As Danny said, make sure you go over to their social media sites and give them a like, follow, share the show. Do the same for us as well. That helps the people who support us. And if you're listening over on iTunes, make sure to give us a review, because once again, that helps the people who help us as well. And as I'd ask you who's on next week, but we just covered that as well. So
Yep.
We're going to wrap it up, and we'll be back again next week, next Wednesday night at 7:30. So make sure you tune in and join us right here on Facebook. Y'all take care, and we'll see you then.